Dr. Clark, just tell us a little bit about, and maybe you could talk about the myth of that lingers out there that so many people have about going to a chiropractor. Oh, I'm scared to get snapped. Some can damage. I could end up paralyzed. But tell people that it's an alternative method to healing and helping their bodies.
Very good. There are myths out there, and that's probably the number one problem that keeps patients from coming in to our doors. It's similar to what goes on in dentistry because I have some friends that are dentists and they say the same thing. A patient of mine recently told me they hadn't been to a dentist in 20 years. And I said, why? Because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what might come. And I'm afraid of that drill. I'm afraid of this and that. Well, dentists, just as dentists have techniques that are painless, we have techniques that are painless too. We rely on the fact that the results we get brings us in more patients that want relief. We do very little to no advertising, so otherwise, why would they be lined up to come into the office if we weren't getting relief and if we just hurt people? So that doesn't happen. We actually have very painless techniques. And I think some of these myths that come about seeing a doctor of chiropractic date all the way back to 50 to 75 years ago when there were political wars going on over a monopolistic idea of who would run all the medicine in this country. And there were United States Supreme Court decisions regarding that, but I won't get into that right now. Basically, the premise is that there are 5 different types of doctors that are legal to do business in the United States. All of these doctors can have state licenses, and most of them are included in the insurance industry. The doctor of chiropractic is one of them. The doctor of osteopathic is one of them. The doctor of homeopathic is one of them. The doctor of naturopathic is one of them. And then the doctor of allopathic, or your traditional medical doctor, is also one of them. But all 5 of these types of doctors are legal as portals of entry to take people off of the street and start to diagnose and treat them. Perfectly legal in every state. And as far as what we do in the chiropractic realm, we have more than just simply adjusting spines to offer the patient. Right. Although adjusting spines is a big part of the practice, there are several ways of doing that painlessly and without twisting and popping and cracking that the patients talk about. There are activator methods. There are arthrostim methods. There are flexion distraction methods. All of these methods are done without the twist and the pops and the cracks, and are much gentler and less brutal on the spine than traditional chiropractic treatment that many of our seniors often elect to have. Because as you age, joint degeneration sets in, and it's hard to try to manipulate the spine when it should be easily and more gently flexed and opened up with a process of flexion distraction. And this process is tolerated by everyone. It's amazing, young and old. And it is very gentle, so patients can understand joint manipulation and enjoy joint manipulation without the traditional popping and cracking.
And doctor, there are cases whereby people bring babies in to treat with chiropractors. Also.
Exactly, they do. And some patients say to themselves, well, why would my child need their spine manipulated? Is this safe for them? Well, it's even more safe for them. As you age, it gets becoming more increasingly difficult to manipulate the spine. But as you're young, it's easier. And children need it. They bounce, they jump off beds, they jump off everything they can find, they go on trampolines. Their spines get twisted up. The very first subluxation of the spine or misalignment of the spine can happen during the birthing process, believe it or not. And that's when children are brought out with forceps and the head and neck is twisted as they come out. And their spines can be damaged just from the birthing process. So these children need to be checked immediately after birth. It's a very easy and simple procedure. It doesn't hurt them at all. And they can all benefit from it.
Wonderful. Well, I once again would like to encourage you, don't be afraid to come in to see an extraordinary doctor like Dr. Clark, because he is a remarkable chiropractor and doctor, because I have seen chiropractors for close to 30 years. And once I went in to see Dr. Clark, both me and my husband have been very pleased and happy and really impressed with a number of therapy and treatments and procedures that he offers at his facility. Another is the massage therapy. A lot of people are not aware of the health benefits that comes with getting a massage. And Kathleen, my guest here today, she is my massage therapy, and I'm telling you, she is remarkable. And I'm going to let Kathleen talk a little bit about how massage therapy can also bring help and relief to you when you're enduring pain and what have you. Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you, Carolyn. All our
Look in the camera.
muscles and everything are sometimes tight, and when you massage, you increase circulation, and it brings oxygen and nutrients into the blood, and it helps you relax. There are just 50 million reasons why you should get a massage.
One of them is it helps us do our job better.
Exactly.
If a patient's
Yeah.
loosened up, we can actually manipulate the spine better than if they're tight. It's a very integral part of what we do.
Absolutely. And that was one of the things that I learned while going to a chiropractor. I was informed that there are times when I was just so tight before seeing the chiropractor that I was advised to always get a massage before being treated with the chiropractor. So this is one reason to couple these two treatments together, and Kathleen works with Dr. Clark and works on a lot of his patients whereby they just come in for weekly or monthly massages. And a lot of people are not aware that massage therapy helps to stimulate your metabolism. It helps boost your immune system in conjunction with the therapy that Dr. Clark performs. And so there are many, many, many benefits to getting massages. Not to mention, we go through the day-to-day stress, and our minds and bodies are plagued with just debilitating pain, and you just can't function. But I find that with me getting weekly massages, it keeps me mentally, physically, and spiritually balanced. And I just find myself focusing and being able to endure and cope with the stress that I face on a daily basis. And that also has taught me to train myself to step back and relax, whereby years ago I was just hyper and I really didn't know how to relax. But these two treatments and therapies are remarkable. They're really miracle cures to our mind, bodies, and soul. But some of the other therapy and treatments that you offer, Dr. Clark, one in particular also is this stabilization orthics. Because so many people, as on your flyer says, show me the reason why my pain. And talk about how people are discovering now, and you can help them discover that because of the shoes and improper shoes they're wearing, it's causing back pain.
Yeah, stabilizing orthotics. As a matter of fact, that's a very big part of keeping the patient well. And one of the reasons people aren't well in the first place. When your foot hits the ground, everything changes. So when you're lying in bed, your spine is not enduring the pressures that it is when it has to hold the weight of your body up now, the 1 to 2 to 300 pounds of body weight now, and everything changes when your foot hits the ground. Why? Because we have arches in our feet, and those arches are supposed to properly be supported. If they're not, the foot will start to turn inward and collapse the arch. When that happens, the lower leg bone, the tibia, will rotate, the femur will rotate, the hip joint will rotate, and it will unlevel the pelvis, which puts the lower back out of alignment. It's like the old song, the foot bone's connected to the leg bone, the leg bone's connected to the hip bone, and that song was right. So when our patients come in with foot problems that create back problems, I have to solve those foot problems, or they're never going to have a permanent solution to their problem. So we do that with stabilizing orthotics.